Well, senior, but ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolutely fantastic day for me so far. 1 o'clock this afternoon, I got to present a couple of combat awards to a fine young officer who had done 4 tours in impact, flown 102 missions, and spent something like 278 days in combat. So that was a thrill, and now I get to promote a spectacularly talented officer in Major Pierotti. So first things first, let's get him up here. As he's walking up, I want to welcome all of the Pierotti relatives that are here today. Where's Kelly? You're over there. Okay, so his lovely bride Kelly and their daughter Lily. It's certainly great to have you here, and I'll call you up shortly, and you can help pin on the rank. Where's your dad Bob's there? Tanner, wife from local. And in-laws from Nanaimo. It's great to have you here, Dennis, Lorna, and Kyle. Apparently you were coming for a holiday anyway, right?
Exactly.
We could just put this promotion on for you. I think we sometimes underestimate how important it is to have family for these special moments. You know, James has been in the military since 1989, and that's a fairly significant commitment. It demonstrates you know, service before self, a commitment to a higher level of values that I think the military embraces: honour, loyalty, commitment to that service before self. And it's great to have family come and sort of share in these occasions. But I might sort of say, particularly for Kelly and Lily, we understand what families go through, and you're in the military, Kelly, so I know you understand better than most. And so it gives us an opportunity to say thanks as well. So although he's earned the promotion, thank you. So as I said, the Major was joined in 1989. He's an AXO by trade. He has served in a number of locations, including quite clearly Trenton and the Rock recently. But he's been to Trenton a few times. If I recollect, Winnipeg, Victoria, where you're part of that SAR community. Were you in Halifax as well? Greenwood. So pretty much covered all of Canada. Did a tour in Afghanistan. Was it just the one tour?
Yes, sir.
So a combat tour in Afghanistan. So a pretty rich career. But I'd like to just spend a few moments talking about what he's done for the Rock, and we couldn't have asked for a better officer to lead this initiative for us. So we have an innovation office established at Communitech, and James, with a team, including his boss, Lieutenant Colonel Ray Stockmans at this point in time, did exceptionally well to stand up our commitment down in Communitech at Waterloo. They stood it up very, very quickly based on some fairly loose guidance that General Hood gave about a year and a half ago, maybe a bit more. So with that loose guidance, which was this Communitech Innovation Hub sort of smells pretty good, and maybe we can do some magical Air Force stuff there, you know, why don't you see what you can do? They set our office up there and have established a range of contracts such that we now have bed down a facility down there where we're mixing it up with other fairly significant companies. So, you know, Google, TD Bank, Toys R Us, surprise, right? They're pretty innovative. And a range of other companies that we can now chat to and learn from, as well as run a number of base camps which provide a mechanism for us to discuss Air Force problems down there. Now, this small team set this up, and without doubt, the Major has taken a lead role in making sure that we sucked everything we could out of that space. Now, to achieve that in such a short period of time is quite remarkable, because the bureaucracy is just extraordinary. So we now have an office down there. Our running costs are
$1.162 million.
$1.2 million, and that's a pretty significant. But the benefit we get out of it is quite extraordinary. So James has always struck me as an individual who is prepared to go that extra yard to do the right things, not to do things right. So from my point of view, he's one of the few people in the Rock as a raven that we've got who's prepared to stretch the bounds, work to my intent, even if that means bending a few rules and going round obstacles and over the top to get things done. But that's what we need in the rock. And if we are going to commit to innovation, this is one of the guys, one of the people in the rock, one of the ravens that exemplifies what we need. So he's done exceptionally well here, and I've got to say it's a real privilege for me to preside over this promotion ceremony. I'll say a couple of things sort of eyeball to you. Right? You know, I'm from another military, from another country, and I've got to admit, I don't think I've ever seen such a great system for managing talent as we've got in the department and in the RCAF. And I'm here to tell you now that the rank you're going to, it's not given, right? No. I know what goes on beforehand, and I understand all the boards, all the requirements that have to be met, and the example that you've got to display to get to that level where someone says, okay, this guy is at the right level now for us to promote. The other key thing, though, is potential. So it's not just about, okay, he's doing okay for the next rank level. It's about what potential you've got to lead further downstream. And from what I've seen and understanding the system, that it's the really good system that's in play in our military here, you've met the grade, and quite clearly people think you've got the talent and the potential to go further. So keep that in the back of your mind, right? We're giving you the rank. You're going to get a few extra dollars in your pocket, but greater things are expected of you forward. And I think with that said, it'll be great now to pin some rank up. So I'm not sure how you want to do it. Did you want to get all of your family up to try and pin this rank on, or Kelly and Lily?
I think we'll get Kelly on.
Okay. What if I get a chair here for Lily? Would that help?
Do you want to do one side, sir, and we'll do the other?
Only if you want. I don't want
let's
to.
do it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on the other side.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you good? I cut them off. They should come off in front. So with the old, and we throw those down.
Just toss it.
Throw that in the garbage.
No need for that.
You've got to go last, right? I'm always just confused.
Oh, no, that's right down. Upside down.
One more time. This way. Put it on that. Although it wouldn't be on you. Hold on. Strap it down there. Bit of a slap there. Pat on the chest. Congratulations, Lieutenant Colonel. Well done.
I would, and I'd like you two to stay right here, actually. Thank you very much, sir. You know, we're all familiar with the military and the service that it requires and the sacrifices that we all have to make, right? There's the postings, the moves, which are hard on the families. There's the long hours at work. There's the extra education that a lot of us are expected to do, especially if you want to progress through the ranks. So I went into that working the long hours, taking on the extra education, and I did that knowingly, you know, because it was a goal of mine to get to the next rank. I thought I had more to offer. I was kind of exceeding my authority level, or at least that's how I felt. And really, well, a little bit, but what I think I sometimes forget is how much that comes at a cost to my family. And to all of our families, right? So I just wanted to take a moment actually to thank my wonderful daughter and my beautiful wife for all that they've done to allow me to do these things, to get to where I am. And I want to speak a little bit to the challenges that they've been through. Lily, when she moved here, she was 2 years old, and she had trouble speaking to strangers for about 6 months after the move because it was so traumatic for her at 2 years old. Kelly, when after we met and we did our first move, she had to find a different line of work, so she joined the reserves to follow me around. And now the reserves is proving to be not so resilient, and she's quitting her job altogether to follow me overseas. I think that's really hard, and what I want to do is I wanted to acknowledge with the yellow ribbon, I'm acknowledging your service, Kelly. And I want to thank you for everything that you've done, sweetie. Lily had a fortune cookie the other day that said she was going to get handed something in public, and I was smiling because I said, you know what? I think I know. So this is a coin that you can get for the RCAF, and it recognizes military brats. And what brat means is born, raised resilient, and transferred somewhere, right? Which you have been. And I wanted to say thank you for being so excited for moving to Germany, for doing all the things that you've had to do to suffer and say goodbye to all your friends. I want to say a big thank you to you for all you do.
We're going to Germany, it's okay.
I won't be long, but I just wanted to also say a big thank you to the family, because it's not just my close family, you know, my wife and daughter that have suffered. I've moved all over the country, and that's affected my dad and his wife, and of course we were living in Victoria when I met Kelly, and of course I've ripped her away from her family, so that they've had to travel all the way to Ontario to visit us. So I want to thank all of you as well for all that you've had to put up with this career that Kelly and I and Lily have chosen to pursue. So thank you. To the Rock, this has been a fascinating place to work. It has been such a dynamic environment. I've been really surprised at the work that has been thrust my way. I wanted to acknowledge a few people. Could I get all the OR staff and the production folks to put up their hands? Come on, you know who you are. Come on, you can do it. Folks, these are the people that make you look good. I want to thank you all for everything that you guys have done. In all honesty, when it comes to all the travel that we do and all the paperwork that I've had to provide and the documents and all of that stuff, the fact that I've had such a wonderful support team to look to help me out and do so much work on my behalf has been absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really going to miss all of those folks. To the rest, I did want to mention the people that I work directly with. I see Danny Halley here. Ray Stockmans isn't here, but we have Bryce Mason and Jason Fawcett. Those have been some outstanding people to work with to do all this innovation. And I wanted to thank a lot the two supervisors that I've had. Hux Barnes was great when he brought me in. I went to him, I was coming into Rock, and I said, I don't really want to do doctorate. And no offense, but I wanted to use my degree and do something a little bit different. And Hux took me under his wing and hauled me off to Air Warfare Education, where I was able to do editorial content and stuff that was very much in line with the master's degree that I just recently completed. So I appreciated that. And then Doug Moulton was a heck of a mentor for me. He taught me a lot about how to do things that were completely unfamiliar, like publishing documents and editing, choosing articles. It's stuff that was completely beyond me. And then Ray Stockmans, who's a friend of mine, but I've worked with him off and on throughout the years. You know, when you go to work for someone that you consider a friend, you don't know how it's going to go, but Ray has given me the freedom and the authority and the top cover, most importantly. When I did manage to make some odd mistakes, he was right there to help me out and cover up and make little things go away and make sure that the big things got sorted out. So I wanted to thank everyone that I've worked with at the Rock. Sir, thank you for all your kind words. I've really enjoyed the back and forth that we've had, that it has been not just you ordering me around. Sometimes there's been a little bit of pushback, and you've been accepting of that, and I appreciate that as well. And Chief Warrant Officer Hancock's not here, but he's also been a big pleasure to work with as part of the command team of Rock. So thank each and every one of you for making this a wonderful work environment over the last 2 years. And I wish you all the best, and I hope I see you down the road. And please enjoy a drink on me.
Giant.